Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, more details about the Montana Highway Patrol trooper ambushed by a gunman last Friday near Missoula.
As he struggles to survive, we also learn more about the first 3 victims, 1 killed and 2 others injured, when the gunman, in an apparent case of road rage, opened fire on their truck with handguns and a rifle.
The wife of Montana Highway Patrol trooper 35-year-old Wade Palmer releases new details on his condition.
Lindsay Palmer says her husband was shot 3 times, once in the head, once in the neck, and in the face. She describes his condition as extremely critical and is in a medically induced coma at a Utah hospital. She said due to the nature and extent of his injuries, it may be some time before they know more about his prognosis.
She offered this statement today saying, "We remain cautiously optimistic that Wade will continue to see steady improvements. We recognize, however, that the overall understanding of these improvements and what they mean in the long run is still evolving and unknown at this time."
Well, friends and family of the man killed in last week's initial attack in Missoula are still trying to process the loss of 28-year-old Shelly Hayes.
As Jill Valley reports, he was a man who loved to laugh, loved his family, and was completely devoted to his little girl.
Shelly Hayes never passed up a chance for fun. He loved fast bikes, fast snowmobiles, fast trucks, and if they weren't fast enough, he could fix that. Always surrounded by friends, he was always up to make new ones.
He had this personality where he could make a friend at anybody. You know, if somebody was giving him that long stare, like not sure, I mean, he'd go over there just to, I guess, make the situation better. You know, he would create a conversation, and now all of a sudden, by the time it was over, he's just another friend. You know what I mean? He was always social like that.
Nick Kogar and Shelly had been friends since they were 7 years old, attending Hellgate Elementary School and later Big Sky High School.
Hey, look here.
Nick says they were rarely apart back then.
That was one of our old shop pickups.
As a kid, Shelly won awards for barrel racing and roping competitions. It was a love of horses that he's passed on to his daughter, Chloe.
She came first with everything. It didn't matter. And he put in a lot of late hours to make sure he could give her everything that she needed, and you know, she was, how do you say that? He was wrapped around her finger, let's put it that way.
Shelly and his partner opened up Maxed Out Performance in Missoula. As a talented mechanic, the business grew. But Shelly never got too busy for what was really important to him.
Family was everything for him. He's always the first one when anybody needed help, including me.
Nick has a lot of pictures of the adventures he and Shelly shared. He remembers the laughter, the fun, and how Shelly could make the best of any situation. Shelly cast a wide net of friends and family around western Montana, many who feel blindsided by his death, as they remember their friend, who seemed to have it all figured out.
Anything to get out and socialize and have a good time, that's what he was about. It was just get out and go and turn every stranger into a friend. That's pretty much just his motto in life. It's all he wanted. It was just to make a name for himself. He wanted people to be proud of him, and he just wanted to be cared for and respected. That's all he wanted.
In Missoula, Jill Valley, MTN News.
Well, Shelly's family recently set up a new Facebook fundraiser for funeral costs and other expenses.
And tonight we're also learning more about the conditions of Casey and Julie Blanchard, the 2 other people in the truck with Shelly Hayes. According to Facebook fundraiser pages, the mother and son are recovering. Casey is hospitalized in Salt Lake City, was recently removed from a ventilator, and is already talking. Updates surrounding Julie say she's doing well also, but is still in a lot of pain. Links to their fundraisers can be found at ktvq.com.
We now know more about what led to the death of a 14-year-old Busby girl who was found dead in December near Lame Deer. The Bighorn County coroner says Henny Scott died of hypothermia and had alcohol in her system. Coroner Terry Bullis also says the manner of Scott's death was accidental. In late December, Northern Cheyenne tribal leaders and the FBI were notified by the family that Scott was missing. Just days later, a search party organized by the tribe went looking for Scott and found her body.
Switching gears now to the weather scene, and for Bob McGuire tonight, Q2's Rob Griggs and his smiles. Rob, it appears that Bob completely set you up for this first day of spring.
Yeah, Bob McGuire just wrapped it up with a bow on it
Yes,
and handed
he
it to me.
did.
And And then we've got tomorrow, the first full day of spring, and it only gets better from there. Across the United States right now, again, Bob, thanks for the western half of the United States. We're all thrilled. Absolutely. Some storms from the deep south, Mississippi up over Tennessee and Kentucky, all the way in toward Pennsylvania tonight, moving off toward the mid-Atlantic states. Also, you can see portions of southern and central California and Nevada also having some weather tonight. Not much going on up here in the northwest. As a matter of fact, across the board right now, we're cooling off into the 20s and the 30s, but we've got a couple of warm days in front of us as the first full day of spring is tomorrow. We'll give you that complete forecast in just a little bit.
All right. Thanks, Rob and Bob. Now, a special and yet surprise delivery to the Billings Clinic parking lot today.
Q2's David J. brings us the story behind a beautiful bundle of joy.
McKinley Michael was born at 8:20 Wednesday morning in a car parked at Billings Clinic.
My winter coat, we got that on her, and a hat, and as soon as we were able to cut the umbilical cord, they whisked her off and got her warmed up.
The Michaels left home about 8 o'clock, came to Billings Clinic, pulled into the parking lot and brought the car around to the pediatric center, where Cassie stayed in the car while Nathan went upstairs for help.
And I said, I need a wheelchair, and about that minute my water broke, and he ran up the stairs to grab a wheelchair. Luckily he came down with a CNA because he heard me yelling for him and also heard a baby crying. So we had a little surprise in the car this morning.
I couldn't quite believe what I was hearing, but yeah, I made it to the car pretty quick.
The nurses responded with teams to take care of the baby and the mother.
I cut and clamped the cord, and our NICU staff was right behind us, which was perfect. And so they whisked the baby up to the NICU, and we took care of Mom.
The CNA was there, and the nurses were very responsive for us.
Door wide open, pediatric unit could see all of us. They were applauding as we went up the elevator, and she had quite the entrance, that's for sure.
They were all cheering for her when she came in, which was pretty neat. It's just so wonderful when everybody's healthy and happy and it all works out. So it's exciting.
It doesn't even seem real to us right now. This is something that happens in movies, not to us. Everyone's doing great. We just have a fun story to tell for her birthday now.
David J., MTN News, Billings.
Great story.
Yeah. Well, Nathan and Casey also have a 4-year-old son. They expect to go home with McKinley tomorrow.
With a desire to attract a larger age base and bring in more science exhibits, the Wise Wonders Children's Museum in downtown Billings is on the move. To more than double its space, the museum will relocate just 2 blocks away into the old Good Earth Market Co-op. The former market is 9,000 square feet on just the main floor, while the current museum space is about 3,200. Executive Director Kelly Toohill says the museum will expand in 3 phases. Wise Wonders won't own the building. We're told that a board member purchased the old Good Earth Market, which was previously owned by the Gannan family. Toohill says the move will likely happen by the end of summer.
Whole lot of shaking going on at Beartooth Elementary. They held their 4th annual Amazing Shake competition. Billings business professionals were on hand to judge it. 5th graders were challenged to maintain a conversation with each judge. Students were judged on etiquette. This includes greeting with a firm handshake, eye contact, and thoughtful, energetic conversation. The competition started with 60 students, and through each stage, the pool of competitors shrinks from there to 8. And those students will go on to First Interstate Bank. The final winner will be announced at the Salute to Education luncheon. And stay here with Q2 for the updates on who the finalists are, as some of our co-workers will be personally getting to judge the next part of the competition.
Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, flooding wreaking havoc in Midwestern states, but concerns are rising here for Montana ranchers. Find out why.
Plus, office pools surrounding March Madness might cause stress for bosses, but it's also pooling some benefits.
And in sports, Scott checks in with the Grizz from Des Moines less than 24 hours from tip-off in the NCAA's Big Dance.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.